So having had such a great time in our Book of Acts class on Tuesday, I cannot but go back to that theme yet again. And yesterday we talked about how in the time of opposition, it doesn't mean it's a time for us to retreat in our faith, to shrink back, well, as Hebrews says, unto destruction. But it is also a good time to move forward, maybe. And welcome. This morning's jolt is, I hope, a refreshing thought for you as well. Yes, so we have a choice at that time. When opposition comes, what then we do with it? And one thing, of course, is a choice, a personal choice. And this is in 2 Peter 1:5. And we talked about how the Apostle Paul in Acts 9:22 did not accept opposition as a reason to halt in his faith, to stop, to draw back, but instead he grew, he increased at that time. And then Peter speaks about this in 2 Peter 1:5, and the epistles of Peter talk about a season of persecution. They are talking to believers in persecution, 1 Peter, 2 Peter also. And in 2 Peter 1:5 he says, beside this, giving all diligence, add to your faith virtue, and to virtue, I'm adding the word add knowledge. And to knowledge, temperance, and to temperance add patience, and to patience and add godliness, and to godliness brotherly love. And so this is our personal choice. We choose to actually add to our faith things that are, like I asked the question, so how could my faith be expressed today? What is there today, in this day, that my faith could be expressed in? What could my faith say maybe to someone? What could my faith have me do today that I have never done before? And I'm adding to my faith. So this is definitely a personal choice. Let's say there is opposition, but I am still asking the question, I'm not asking, what would Jesus do? I'm asking, what would faith do in this time? How could I walk in faith today? And that's a powerful and beautiful thing when that happens in life. But we're also not alone in this, and I just want to highlight that point. It's a personal choice, yes, but also the body of Christ is so important in this picture, because the Apostle Paul, and he wasn't a stranger to persecutions and problems and people hating him and going after his faith and trying to stop him in his ministry. And then he says to the Ephesian church, he says in chapter 6 verse 19, he's talking about the church. He's asking the church to pray, and then he's asking that the church would pray for him. And he says it this way, and for me that utterance may be given unto me, that I may open my mouth boldly to make known the mystery of the gospel. So when opposition came, the Apostle Paul wasn't like a super Christian who was undeterred by any problems and untouched by them, and he just moved on without issue. No. He made personal decisions. Sure, that's first in our lives. Of course, we are responsible for ourselves mainly. But then on the other hand, he asked the brethren. The brothers were praying for him. The churches were praying for him. There were others behind him supporting him in his life. And holding up his hand, and like when it wanted to go down, they would, people helped him with that, and they helped him open his mouth by prayer. And this is what we do. This is why we, many of us have prayed for our precious brother Billy Graham while he was alive, that his ministry would be fruitful, and many other believers. I'm so grateful for the ministry of great, people whom God is using greatly, and I am praying for them. Why? Because of course, why wouldn't we? We are together in this. And when opposition comes, we're not standing alone. Yes, the Lord is standing with us, but also our brethren. They're behind us, and they are praying for us, that our mouths could be open, that we would not shrink back, that we would not slow down, that we would not give up. And let's do that for each other. Think of your brothers, sisters in the faith, and let's just pray for them. Let's also, us, lift up their hands in prayer. God bless you with that. And I trust that it will be a blessing for you as much as for me.